Coach, obviously a big challenge last week with Alabama. You know, how would you kind of assess how you guys did and where you stand today?
We've got a lot to improve on. We got to continue to get better in targeting the right people, and those issues have come up and created some negative things. So that's something we got to do better, and I think that's something that the guys understand and we're working on right now. You know, we got to improve a bunch.
Well, Western Michigan coming in here, I mean, to hear Coach tell it, similarities, I guess, a lot from what you've seen in camp from your own defense with these three-man fronts and some shifting, a lot of motion. I mean, what are your impressions of them?
Very, very talented. They create a lot of issues, being able to blend their fronts and do it in a lot of different varieties. Got 2 or 3 guys that are really good football players that create havoc for the other team. You know, they play extremely hard, and so we're going to have to be ready to go because they play hard, they play fast, and then they create issues schematically that can be problems. So you have to be on top of your game there to be able to handle it.
Barbe said yesterday that South Carolina game, the pass protection was a lot better, and then Alabama-wise, the run blocking was a lot better. What do you feel like needs to be done to have a complete performance?
Well, we'd like to be able to do both things in one game. You know, really this year it's kind of been, you know, we hadn't been able to put it together in one football game and be complete. So, you know, go back to work, continue to work, and you know, when you're multiple, you got to be able to do more than one thing, and so we must improve that part.
Whose role has stood out to you in the front so far? Obviously, they came in with a lot of experience, but they're running for the most part a totally new system.
You know, you know, one of the problems we got, guys, is probably everybody's taking some turns and being pretty good at times, and then being consistency's been an issue. So we've got to improve that. I mean, when you play, you know, especially now, I mean, the plays have cut down so much in college football. I mean, you know, if you're not efficient and you're not playing clean, all right, and consistent, man, that the game has changed and it's over. So you have to be able to start out fast and be consistent throughout a game. So we've got to improve that as a group.
I know you're blocking for those guys, but just talk about the running backs, especially Pittman. He looks like he's bringing it every time.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Those kids play hard, and you know, they're good players, and Coach Hughes and Coach Knox, they do a great job with those kids, and you know, they you know, not only as runners, but they're good blockers too. They're good team players. Really, all of them. Woody and Pitt and Seth, and you know, going down the list. You know, all those guys have done some good things when given an opportunity.
When you evaluate what your group is doing with all the varied roles that are being assigned, how are they coping with all this through the 5 games of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we got to continue to work. I think there's been progress. By no means satisfied with the output, you know, and we're just trying to put those guys in the right situation, and at the same time not give too many tendencies away, but really just kind of managing that group, putting them in the right position. I think we're getting to know them better and better each and every week, and continuing to put them in those positions to be successful.
When you've had a chance to go back and grade your guys, is there anybody that's maybe ahead of schedule, or somebody maybe that's doing it exactly the way you want most of the time? And if so, who is that?
Yeah, I think Ryland's came in and he's done everything. Now he's been a little banged up and all that, but he's done everything we've asked. He's always in the right spot. I think we're continuing to improve on his fundamentals and techniques to execute it at a higher level. But really, the guy that has stepped in, playing a new position, is Malik Ellis, who's filling a role for us and continuing to show that improvement that we're looking for. And he brings a little bit of physical play, you know, to that group. And he's really been the one who's impressed me from where he was in the spring to where he is now.
You mentioned production. I'm just curious, what's the mood, I guess, within the group, and I guess maybe specifically with Ryland, who obviously doesn't have a catch yet this year, and maybe expected to have a bigger role coming into here with the passing game.
Yeah, that's one thing with him. He's going to do what's best for this football team, and there are opportunities out there that we're going to continue to try to build in the plan for him. You know, he was limited by his foot a couple weeks ago and all that, so, you know, kind of took a step back there. But we're continuing to build him into things, and the ball will find him.
How hard is it, or maybe challenging is it to, when you mix those guys in, all right, you got Malik, you got Rylan, okay, they're run blockers kind of thing. Antonio comes in, but Antonio's proven himself to be a pretty good run blocker as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we're continuing to work with Antonio. He does bring the most versatility to that position. So he is out there. I think he had the most reps last week. He brings the most versatility to that position. We're continuing to expand him on what he can do in the box for us. But I think he's trending as well, and you know, every ball that's really came to him, you know, he's brought it in. So he is proven to be a versatile player for us.
We've talked about Malik, especially after those first 2 non-conference games. What do you feel like this 3-game SEC stretch has taught him about, you know, playing?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that first week, LSU at 11 a.m. I mean, there was some questioning going on, you know, but to see him come out and play against the front that he played against last week and executing the run game the way he did was a huge positive to see.
It was done. Terry just kind of came out and showed his stuff early in that game. Just talk about his play Saturday.
Yeah, you know, obviously it was good to see, and it was a bright spot for us that he brings a little bit more athleticism there on the edge, a little bit more speed, and it was good to see. He gave us a lift there, and hopefully he will continue to develop and get better and get bigger and get stronger, and he's got a chance to develop into a really good player.
You've obviously dealt with injuries in your position group, you know, before in your coaching career, but have you experienced something, I guess, like this, where just so many, you know, first string, second string guys have gone down this early?
No, I haven't. I've not had a year like this. You know, it's a little unusual, but nobody's feeling sorry for us, and we're not going to postpone games, so we heal up. So, you know, I always tell the guys, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. So somebody's got to step up and play, and we can't miss a beat. But, you know, I appreciate the attitude of the guys. I appreciate the way they're going about their work and how they're attacking this thing, and, you know, we'll work through it.
When you told Jaden he was going to play standing up some snaps there, how did he handle that?
Oh, you know, everybody. Nobody grows up wanting to be a D tackle. So everybody, you know, if you stand them up, all of a sudden they think they're athletic and they're big time athletes. So he was excited, and it's a little bit different dimension, trying to mix some things up and maybe present some problems for the offense. So it turned out pretty good.
Speaking of that opportunity situation, you had some guys that didn't get a lot of reps, got a lot of reps last week. So, you know, maybe who stood out to you, and how do you think as a group they performed?
Well, probably the one guy that played two. I guess Eric Taylor played a few more snaps, and Ty Cooper. Those guys, I thought for the situation, the lack of practice time that they've had, that they've kind of stepped up. I was pleased. I think they give us something to build on going this last stretch, and hopefully they'll continue to work and get better and stay healthy.
Obviously, as a coach, you know, you want to have your full, you know, utility chest available. But I mean, do you take this as somewhat of a challenge to you know, show what you can do as a coach with not, I guess, all your weapons and stuff? If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know if I'm gonna bite that one. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know, you know, what kind of coach am I? Well, that's determined every Saturday, and right now it's not real good. So I got to coach better. Those guys got to play better. We got to communicate better. We got to do all the little things better and get this thing turned around.
What kind of opportunity does this stretch provide for some of these guys to get healthy with a non-conference game and then the bye week? What do they need to sort of work on before you get back on the road and back into conference play?
Well, you know, first and foremost is just getting healthy, getting in the training room, taking care of the bodies, and you know, Western Michigan's not going to come down here and play cooperative. I'm sure they're looking at film and thinking they got a chance. All they hear about is SEC, and they think they got a chance to come down here and beat us, and they do. It's hard to win football games. So we got to go out, worry about us. We got to execute at a high level. We got to play hard. We got to play physical up front, and we got on defense. We got to create some more turnovers for our offense, and if we do those things, we'll be okay.
What do you see from Western Michigan's offense? What do they like to do?
Well, they got a quarterback that's a good, solid quarterback. They got some skilled guys. They got 3 tight ends that they play that are physical in the run game. They RPO and get the ball down the field some. So, you know, it's a challenge. they're well coached. I mean, you sit there and look at them on offense and up front, they're a well coached group. They know what they're doing. They know what they want to do. So obviously, like I said, it's a challenge for us.
When you have all those injuries, how much is recovery and the in-week process, I guess, more emphasized with the healthy guys, to show them, I guess, maybe the importance of that
Well,
and staying on the field?
Like I tell the guys, you only get one body, so you got to take care of it. So, everybody has aspirations of playing at the next level, and part of it is taking care of your body and doing the things you got to do to recover. And you got to make sure you're getting the right amount of sleep at night. You got to eat the right things, and you got to get your rest. So, hopefully those guys are doing that and understand the importance of it. All they got to do is look around the room and see guys that are not in there. So hopefully they understand the importance of taking care of the body.